Right, and back to our topic of today, and to highlight the situation of women or the vulnerability they are exposed to in the Palestinian-occupied territories. We have with us over the phone Professor Nيفين مكرم لبيب, Professor of Artificial Intelligence and Dean of the Social and Cultural Planning Center in the Institute of National Planning. Thank you so much for being with us over the phone.
Thank you very much.
Today we're speaking about women in the occupied territories, women in the Palestinian occupied territories, and definitely we are seeing horrendous incidents that are taking place. How do you view the status of women in the occupied territories?
Actually, before discussing the women in Palestine, we need to mention an important fact. That is, the percentage of educated women in Palestine is remarkable, because it's one of the highest in the world, with 99.6% in 2020 for completion of this educational level. Okay, so that's to start with. As for the women there, as we all know, they are marked numerous challenges and suffering, because, as we all know, Palestinian women have a unique set of difficulties due to the ongoing conflict of and socio-economic factors. They have a profound impact on the Palestinian women. We see women enduring continuous occupation, including restrictions on movement, limited access to resources, limited access to services, destruction of homes and infrastructure, and again, conditions mark the hardship faced by women, affecting their safety, health, and overall well-being. Moreover, the socio-economic situation in Palestine nowadays poses additional challenges for women because of the high unemployment rate, the poverty, the limited access to services, to social services, and so on. But despite these challenges, we find that Palestinian women demonstrate remarkable resilience and determination.
Dr. Nيفين, let me here divide what you said into some sections. Women under occupation, women in the Palestinian occupied territories, women from the political point of view, women from the economic and social point of view. So let me here take it, women under occupation and the resilience of the Palestinian women, because definitely Palestinian women has their own status in the occupied territories, being exposed to several conditions. Politically, how do you view the status of the Palestinian women in the occupied territories?
Let's say that now we see the persistence of Palestinian women there, a testament of their strength and resilience, because Palestinian women are faced with immense challenges in these difficult circumstances for their country. We're talking about occupation, about some gender-based discrimination, and so on. And on the other side, we know that Palestinian women bear the burdens of the daily life there. They play a crucial role, whether in preserving their families and communities, whether on the political side, and they still confront economic, social, and health challenges there. We also find that Palestinian women work in various fields, whether we're talking in the economic field, in political, and so on. We find women there working in agriculture, in the education sector, in healthcare, in humanitarian work, making significant contributions to their communities. And again, despite all of the tremendous challenges they're facing, they remain a source of inspiration and strength for all of us, because they're still demonstrating an immeasurable resilience. They're still working to promote awareness, education, and empowerment in the Palestinian society.
Indeed. If that is the status of women under occupation, without even speaking about now a big crisis that they are under, the Israeli strikes. Their houses are demolished, their lives is tremendously under threat. The resilience of the Palestinian woman who is under direct strikes. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, Dr. Naveen.
Yes. Would you please repeat the last sentence?
Definitely. So I'm speaking here about that we spoke about the status of Palestinian women under occupation.
Yes.
But now we're speaking also about women who are under direct strikes by the occupation forces. How do you view the resilience of the Palestinian women under direct strikes?
Actually, I see that they're taking multiple roles and they're taking very good responsibilities to support their families and communities during this crisis. I see that they're contributing to the resilience and recovery of their societies, which is a very important role that is performed by women worldwide. Okay, not talking only about Palestinian women, although they're in the middle of a crisis nowadays, but speaking of the Arab women in general, or speaking about women in general, because the ability to adapt, persevere, and find innovative solutions is one of, let's say, the talents of women.
What, from your point of view, are the challenges the Palestinian women face under the strike, those strikes we're seeing today, those horrendous strikes that we are seeing those days? And how did the international community contribute by their silence to the status, to the enormous suffering of Palestinian women in those areas?
Okay. Again, as we realize that these women are faced with many problems and challenges, if we may say. So we're talking about the unemployment, the poverty, and above all, the limited access to healthcare services, to social services, to food, and so on. And we see that some of the people are perceiving these problems and challenges and kind of supporting the women there. Other people do not perceive that. And that's the usual any issue or for any cause. We are definitely pro, and we are definitely trying to find solutions to help Palestinians and to help Palestinian women. But on the other hand, there are other people that do not perceive it that way. So it's a matter of perception.
Yes, here I'm speaking particularly about the challenges that the women or the Palestinian women face during the strikes by the occupation forces. Their houses were demolished. They saw the children dying in front of their eyes. They lost the babies. How do you view the challenges faced by Palestinian women at this very precise time, and the trauma they will be dealing with after, if this injustice would really end?
Actually, we hope that it will end soon.
Yes, very much
okay.
Indeed.
Yeah. So again, as you just mentioned, Palestinian women are faced with many challenges, and maybe we should use a stronger term than challenges, because we're not only talking about the restrictions on movement or the limited access to resources or the limited access to services, the destruction of their homes, the infrastructure problem. I guess they're faced with, let's say, other problems. And all of these conditions, hard kind of hardships faced by women there, and they're affecting their safety, their health, their overall well-being. That's the case there, as we see every day.
Dr. Naveen, women take a priority file in the UN SDGs, or the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Women is a complete sector of this whole plan. The protection of women is one of the prior points put by the UN SDGs goals. How is that being applied on the Palestinian women?
I see that there are many challenges whenever we're applying or whenever we're trying to apply the SDGs during this crisis there. Because as we all know, with the SDGs, we're providing kind of equality, no biases, better healthcare services, better educational services. We're trying to help fighting poverty. We're trying to help having some cooperation between different stakeholders so as to be able to provide a better life for all. So I don't think that that's the case there. I mean, being involved in this file, I do not see that it relates to what's going on there. Because we're not fighting poverty, we're not providing better health or better education or better employment for these women there. We're faced by many challenges. And again, I see that that's the normal case whenever you have a conflict, whenever you have war. I guess that's normal.
Civilians at large have the rights to be protected, particularly by the occupation forces, since they are under occupation. Women in particular, and girls, definitely. How do you view their rights, their legitimate right in finding protection, since they are under the occupation forces, by the occupation forces?
No, I don't think that they're getting their humanitarian rights till now. Because when they're not provided with homes, with food, with health care, with education, with employment, or even with safety, then we cannot say that they have any of these rights.
How is the international community dealing with such crisis from your point of view?
Okay, let's discuss it from a media perspective. As you know, that some media channels are focusing on showing the hardships faced by these women there, while others are doing just the opposite. So whenever we have any discussion with people, I mean, from other countries, because we as Egyptians, we're definitely supporting the Palestinian cause, and we're definitely trying to find a peaceful solution to what's going on there. But if you have any discussion, or even if you get to any discussion or to read any posts on the social media, you'll find that, again, there are people who are not aware of what's going on there. And it's because of the media. That's why every time that we discuss any of the crucial and important issues, like what's going on right now there in Palestine, I'm very happy to see that we're discussing it from different perspectives, tackling different aspects, and kind of making an awareness of what's going on there. Because that's the only way for us to make people aware of the hardships and the challenges and the problems faced by these women, and making them think about how to make things better for them there. We need to reach a solution for these people.
If we speak about the international community in terms of the Arab world and the Western world, both they have to contribute towards this crisis against civilians at large and women in particular. Since we're speaking about women, so let's speak about women. How do you view the role of the Arab women in supporting the Palestinian women in such crisis?
Maybe what we can do right now is just to be able to get them have the basic needs. Maybe that's what we can do if we're talking about kind of the real case, what we can do in reality right now. But maybe we can play another more important role in making the stories reach people worldwide, because we can always help to make their voices matter and make their stories heard by the international community. So maybe this can be one of the roles that we can do it.
Dr. Naveen, let me here ask you, we are speaking here about women. And it amazes me how the international community, who is all the time calling for the values, principles, women's rights, human rights, and all this, and despite all that, are not seeing the suffering of civilians under strikes, women under very, very vulnerable status, and they are not moving towards any kind of protection. How do you view the silence of the international community, particularly the Western, towards the ongoing crisis?
Okay, let's say that the word right, as we all know, is a fuzzy term. So sometimes people have kind of different perceptions or have kind of double standards. That's how I see it. So again, whenever you read the post, you find that people are not aware or do not want to perceive things as they are there. Because as we know, that perception depends on many factors. So I'm not with the silence, okay, and I think that we should have a more positive role in this issue. But on the other hand, I see that there are other factors that have contributed to the silence of different communities.
Dr. Naveen, before I end here, what is the message that is really needed to be delivered to the Palestinian women and their resilience under such strikes and under such humanitarian crisis from us, and what is the message that we want to deliver to the international community?
Okay, a very important message to women in Gaza and Palestine is that these remarkable women deserve to be heard. So, because their resilience in the face of all these challenges and problems is truly inspiring. Because despite the challenges they're enduring, they continue to demonstrate steady strength, determination, and courage. And their ability to navigate through these difficult circumstances and still maintain hope is a testament to their incredible spirit. I think talking to the communities, the other communities, we need to tell them that they should listen to the voices of women there. They should see their stories. They should perceive it from, different aspects, and that should be of more help to them. As for us in Egypt, I think that we stand with women in Palestine. We're advocating their rights, and we hope to find a solution toward a future where peace, justice, and equality prevail.
Mm-hmm. And the message to the international community?
Is that they should listen to women in Palestine and to Palestinians in general. They should see, again, the circumstances there from both sides. Because maybe they're perceiving it from one side, and that's why they're against, or at least they're silent, as you mentioned. So whenever we need to have a judgment on any issue or on any cause, we need to perceive it from both sides, from both perspectives, not from one side only, so as to be able to judge, if we were to judge and if we were to help. So they should not remain silent, but we need, first of all, to make them see what's going on. And that's, again, the role of the media, the awareness.
Right. Professor Naveen Makram Lbib, Professor of Artificial Intelligence and Dean of the Social and Cultural Planning Center in the Institute of National Planning. We thank you so much for being with us and for your input. And now we'll go to a very short break and we'll come back.